me, and so glad that you reached out. I didn't have any contacts when I was in Dhaka, so now it's finally we can meet like this.
Still it's better. However, I was in Sweden from 3rd of October to 23rd of October. Yep.
You were?
Last month.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter and her husband is staying in Flemingsberg, and they are serving in Karolinski. The hospital that my daughter is basically a doctor.
Okay.
So I just went along with my wife to meet them. However, it's absolutely just to get myself introduced with you.
So nice. So next time you have to meet us all.
Hopefully that would be a great opportunity. And I'm also planning to again visit her, because I have become a grandfather. So I just had the opportunity to have a glimpse of my grandson and stayed 3 weeks. That was fantastic.
I see. So then you have to come often now.
Exactly.
So so nice to meet you all. Who is? Can we have an introduction? Who is in the meeting? I see many faces here.
I think the chair of the Green Tech Foundation, Mr. Lutfer, he is supposed to coordinate and conduct this meeting. Let me check back whether he is already here and doing his job or otherwise. Yeah, I can see Mr. Lutfer, but a red dot.
I see him, but I don't hear him.
Yeah, I also could not hear him. Probably they are facing some technical problem, maybe.
Yes.
He just called me. Mr. Lutfer
Okay.
just called me, and he's trying. He's trying his. Yeah, now I can see him. Can you see him?
I see him, and I see that he's speaking on the phone, and I think he hears us, but we don't hear him.
Okay, let me give him a fair warning.
Now something is happening.
Can you hear?
Yes, through the computer, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I'm on computer. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So let us start. First of all, thank you, Ms. Ima, for giving us this valuable time from your very busy schedule. And let me introduce my colleagues and who are in this today's meeting. You already talked with our honorable advisor, Major General Salahuddin Niazi. He was in defense. He just retired, and he is now in the private sector, working as an executive director of a big group over here. And we are expecting him as a parliament member from the ruling government party in the next coming election. So he is with us. Also with me, Mr. Altaf. He actually the convener of our Green Party Bangladesh. He is now actually organizing this Green Party over here. Also with us, Ms. Sabera Ahmed Khali. He is also in the board of our convening committee. Also, Mr. Mainuddin Ahmed just joined. Mr. Indul Karim Romeo, he is also in our team in the convening committee. So actually, we are here again running one foundation. It's called Green Tech Foundation. It's a non-profit organization, but ultimately the people who are involved with this foundation, they have their own identity from different discipline and different sectors. So as a whole, what Green Party, Swedish Green Party is doing, we have some interest to know about that, because we believe that every objective should be achieved by political influence and motivation. So in that case, we today actually want to know from your side your experience and how you have started this revolution and this movement over in Sweden, and how actually we can start from here with the people who already introduced. And we have a number of people who are involved in different position in the government and in the different private sectors. So we want to accommodate them for the green movement. And in that case, how actually we can organize, how we can work. This is actually today's our first expectation from your side. So it will be very glad for us and helpful if we can start with the guidance. Floor is yours too.
Thank you, and thank you so much for inviting me for this. First, my name is Emma Nohrén. I'm a member of the Swedish Parliament, but I'm a marine biologist by training. So I used to work at the university in teaching, and also was the head of a public aquarium in Sweden on the Swedish west coast. So I was teaching a lot about the marine wildlife and to take care about the oceans and fish ecology and so on. And everyone I met always said, "Oh, this is so good." And I had school children and of course my students at the university. But still, we could see that everything in the ocean just went opposite way around. We are fishing too much and we are polluting the oceans and so. So yeah, I changed side. I went into politics. And for me, there was only one party, the Greens, because they were actually the one that had a politics that was aligned with science. Not only I think like this, I feel like this, it was the science says, then we have to act. So that's why I became a member of the Green Party. The Greens have a quite long history in Europe. One of the first parties was founded in Germany. It's more than 40 years ago, and the Swedish Greens was formed 1982. So it's over 40 years old, and we were elected into the parliament for the first time 1988. And since then we had representations in the Swedish parliament all the time, except 3 years. And we have also been in government together with the Social Democrats for 7 years. And in the last election, they changed, and it was the Conservatives that won. So we are quite a long history here and a good network in Europe. We have what we call European Green Party, that is an umbrella organization for all the green parties in Europe, where I am active. I am one of the delegates from the Swedish Greens in that. And so we can learn from each other. And I think that is a strength. And I know that there is also the Asian umbrella organization. I don't know if you have contact with them and the Global Greens. But I was elected into Parliament first time 2014. And I was also then in the Committee on Environment and Agriculture, and also in the Committee of Foreign Affairs. I worked with aid and international development in the concern when it comes to environment. And last period between 2018 and 2022, I was not in parliament. I was appointed by the government to be the chair of what we call the cross-party board on environmental objectives. When we have tricky environmental questions that need to be addressed, but we see that we cannot solve them in the everyday politics, we have the Swedish way to take it away from the everyday politics, put it in a committee, and people from all parties, together with scientists, civil society, and so on, is trying to see how can we solve this. That's how we made up the Swedish climate law that was launched 2016, and at that time the most progressive one. And then I was appointed as a chair 2018, and as a chair I should not be the green. I should just make sure that this work was happening, and made a new marine strategy for Sweden with over 100 proposals that all parties in the Swedish parliament actually stands behind, united, from the left to the right, all together. But it made me a lot of gray hair, I promise you. And then the government put trust in me one more time, and we came up with what we can see, that we have a climate law. We are actually doing quite okay when it comes to lowering the emissions, but the consumption-based emissions is still very high. So what we buy from other countries, if I buy a cell phone that is made in China, the emissions are done in China, but I am the one who's buying it. And since we are quite rich country, we are consuming a lot. So how will we address this? So then I was working on this, and we once again actually got all parties behind new targets of how we should lowering these consumption-based emissions from all parties. Then we had an election last year, and I ran once again, and I was elected, and now I am the chair of the Committee on Environment and Agriculture here in the Parliament. So it's a little bit of my story and where I come from. I still miss my fish, I miss my students, but I think I do my civil service now, and let's see how long I will stay here. But so far it's fun, and I think that I'm actually doing some kind of change. So that's about me, and the Green Party here is quite strong. We have advisors and representatives in the both local and regional parliaments or authorities, almost in the whole country. Last election period, we had almost everywhere. We were going down a bit in the last election when it comes to the local and regional authorities, and we can see that the right-wing parties like to beat us up quite hard when it comes to rhetoric issues, and everything that is wrong is our fault. And so people didn't really trust us everywhere, but we are still very strong compared to many other countries. And this weekend we will have our Congress and elect new spokespersons. So we will be 1,000 Greens that going to a city called Örebro and come together, forming new policies, new politics, and also new representatives in different bodies. So this is a little bit of me, a little bit of the party, and just fill in if you have any questions. But have you had any contacts with the Global Greens or so?
No, actually, we recently thought about this political wing. Before that, it was not in our mind, but as we feel that after last 1 decade working in the green and sustainability, we feel that we should come with the political position, and that's why actually we thought to actually go for this kind of party development. So we want your guidance as well, and support to link with the global parties and also the other who actually were working for the dream. I should mention repeatedly that the main objectives of this party should be to move for only for the climate sustainability and the environmental issues. We will not go for any violence and any other political agenda. Our main agenda will be to establish our environmental right, climate right, and also the loss and damages what we are as a country suffering. We should raise our voice from the civil society, from the political party, and as well as from the private sector and all people. And we will actually just transform the voice from the root level people. So this is our main objectives, and economically we want to contribute somehow. So definitely we will listen from you more, but we have to start with us. I should invite Ms. Sabira Ahmed Koli. She is also representing so many social organizations, and she is actually leading also a few social organizations over here, women entrepreneur, as well as she is a very qualified member of our team party. So Sabira Ahmed Koli, can you please point out something? Kuliapa. Kuliapa, can you hear me? Okay, maybe she is difficulties, but yes, definitely I should ask our honorable advisor, Major General Salab Miyaji sir, to add something which actually, though it's very sudden meeting for him because he was actually busy with this election activities. But finally, we could reach him, and he joined with us. Sir, can you please share your views with us?
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Thanks to Ms. Emma, the Honorable Parliament Member from Swedish Parliament. It is indeed a great pleasure, and I'm very happy to be with you today in this afternoon Bangladesh time as one of the advisors of Green Tech Foundation. As I was already introduced shortly, may I have the opportunity to introduce myself a little elaborately. Well, I am basically born in the southwestern part of Bangladesh, which is a district town of Jessore. My father is a lawyer, but a veteran politician and freedom fighter, along with our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He was in parliament in 1970s election and also in 1973's election. So by born, I really inherit the blood from a political background family. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I decided to go to join army because I had my education in Cadet College, which is basically an institution which is a recruiting ground for the army officers. So long 37 years, I served Bangladesh Army in various capacity. That includes, I commanded battalion, brigade, division. Also, I was very fortunate to be the military secretary to Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for long 3 years. And I was also military secretary of Bangladesh Army. And last appointment I held is basically the vice chancellor of one of the public university known as Bangladesh University of Professionals. So during my lifetime, basically, I was very much concerned and involved in agriculture and in the environment as well as education sector. And that really led me that though I was in a confinement in the cantonment, serving in the military, but I had always communication and I was always involved into agriculture, into the environmental issues, and also some extent the social activities. So that led me after retirement, once I had been looking forward what to do and how to do. I did not deviate from my basic four dimension, that is education, healthcare, agriculture, and environment. These four dimensions remains fixed to work in these fields as a social worker. And I really also, rather my wife also had another organization which is known as Education Development and Services. Is a listed NGO in Bangladesh, and we are already working in this fourth sector all over the country, including we are also dealing very deeply with the Rohingya issues. Coming back to my case, yes, as I was introduced, I am really trying to get into the politics as my second career. Why? Once I ask myself, I find the answer that if I really want to speed up my actions and activities and participation in the social activities, I need to go to the policy making and I need to intervene there. Otherwise, things are not going to be in right shape with proper speed, momentum, as well as implementation. With this motivation, I am trying my level best to get a nomination with the ruling party and participate in upcoming election if everything goes fine by the grace of Allah Almighty. Coming down to the topic, I would like to apprise Ms. Emma very frankly my personal view. This is absolutely my personal view out of my experience that Bangladesh, highly densely populated country, one of the very densely populated country, and the main issues of environment is the amount of the waste that we generate individually first, and then with the industrial waste and through other activities. It is huge. And if we can convert this waste to wealth by recycling or by managing with the technological advancement that we have, various means, I can tell you this much. This country is going to give a jump into the every sphere of the social norms, including economic and political aspect. But unfortunately, we are lagging behind because of the few things. The first and foremost thing is the awareness amongst our general population. Our people are basically very less aware about the impact that we are going to face, our future generation is going to face, and currently what we are facing. This is because of many factors. Let us not go into that way. Then probably it would be prolonged. So first and foremost thing that I need to emphasize that we need to grow general awareness. And the starting point is at home, at individual level, and in the childhood, in their primary education. So I had been always promoting that our policy-making body should do something with this so that at primary school level, they are the new generations, they should be ready, made ready, and they should be very positive in managing this environment. But unfortunately, though there are laws, there are policies, but not that very elaborately formulated, or it is being implemented. It is not being implemented rather, because the policies are there, policy guides are there, but its implementation is near to zero. So that is one that concerns us, and we must look into that. And if we can then convert this waste into wealth by recycling or by other things, that should be fine. You'll be surprised to know that separation of this waste in the Western society, the way we see, it is totally ignored and absent. Thus, these wastes, they have become a burden than that of a will. Still, we have number of technologies. Government is trying, but I think we need to work more on this. As regards to green, I first want to emphasize that I myself has to be green first to enjoy my green life, so that I don't generate litters and the wastes the way others are generating. And even I cannot make it zero, but definitely I can reduce that one. So zero waste concept would come later, but I think we should have that one, that we as an individual should be a man with a green life. Here also we are having very, less awareness amongst ourselves. In the agricultural field, what is happening now? We are not looking about the health of our soils. We are using the insecticides or fertilizers needed, and thus microbiome nutrients. All these micronutrients are now totally absent, and organic matter into the soil is also off.
So excuse me, sir, I need to interrupt because we scheduled for the 40 minutes and only we have 9 minutes in our hand. So we need to.
Okay, I'll just conclude.
Yes.
I'll just conclude in that way, that let us try together that we should first identify the areas and then work with a total plan, with a time frame as well as better management, so that we can generate yield. With this, I end my part. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful speech. So may I ask Ms. Sabir Ahmed Kali, you were asked to introduce yourself and you any comments if you have. Kali? Kaliappa, can you hear me? Okay, as is our first meeting, so I think we can keep in touch when we require. But finally, I would like to hear from Emma as well, again, to just give us some advice how we can actually move forward. You can start from your experience, please.
Thank you, and thank you so much for giving me this overview. And as you know, I was in Bangladesh for the first time just 1.5 weeks ago, and I came to Bangladesh because when 8 years ago, one of your professors, Professor Doha, was in Sweden to try to get support before we should close the Paris Agreement, and he wanted to help from Sweden, and I met him at that time. And that meeting has got stuck, and now I had the opportunity to come to Bangladesh to see the country with my own eyes and to experience, because here in the north of Europe, we are talking of when the climate change is coming, but you are living in it. And we can see that we have the salt intrusions in the fields, so we have the waste problem and all of this. So for me, it was really good to be in Bangladesh, and I also think that if you just could get over this obstacle, it's a fantastic, prosperous land that I hope that will get well. So what I should suggest is that I can contact Bodil. She is the co-spokesperson for Global Greens. She's a Swede, she's a friend of mine, and ask her of how to move forward, because I think it's through the Global Greens. Then in Sweden, we have something called Green Forum. That is our organization in helping democracy and green parties in other parts of the world. They don't have any programs for Bangladesh, but I think that they might know who can contact to make, because if you're going to be a part of the green family, so to speak, there needs to be some structures, there needs to be evaluation forms to make sure that everything is the same. But I will definitely contact Bodil, and she was also helping with some contacts when I came to Bangladesh, and also Green Forum. And I think that we could keep in contact, Lufor, and you can be the.
Thank you.
We had our WhatsApp.
Yeah, it
there.
is a great pleasure.
And see how we can do this. And I think it can take some time to make sure that everything is up and running according to the statutes and everything. But maybe already to the election, it can have some help to be some support to the Green parties or something, and see what we can do. But I will bring it to the persons that I know that works with these things, and I hope that we can make this happen, because you need a Green Party. You should have a Green Party.
Yeah, thank you. It's our great inspiration, and definitely it will help us to move forward. And your guidance, what you have said, that if you can get in link with that, those group of people and those group of organization, it will actually enrich our knowledge as well as capacity, what we have, and what we need to do. So again, I would like to thanks from our heart and from the whole team. They definitely are feeling very much gratitude for your valuable time. So yes, this is not the first. this is first, but this is not last. But we will seek for your valuable time when we request. So I think you will allow us for that. At the same time, I'd like to mention that from your background, actually, we from the Green Tech Foundation working on blue economy. So we have very keen interest to explore our unexplored blue economy in our country. So in that case, we need your guidance, and also nationally, maybe I will try to involve you into this with the body. We actually working to explore the blue economy over here. So I think you'll be happy to share your knowledge as well in those areas, as well as the Salahuddin sir. His background is actually all through agriculturist, though he was a defense person, but he worked for the agriculture and the environment for his whole life. So I think when he will go in policy level, definitely he will continue his support for the development of the agricultural environment. So again, I would like to thank everyone. And finally, I'd like to ask our convener, Mr. Altaf Hussain, to say thanks from our team, and last space will be go again to Salahuddin for opening and closing that meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ima. Take our congratulations and welcome to our Bangladesh, and we wish you help to make Green Bangladesh, Green Party of Bangladesh will work together with you and all over the Green parties of world. So we like to make Green Bangladesh, we like to make positive Bangladesh. You always with us, and we will be with you. Thank you from our Green Party.
Yes, so thank you very much. Actually, he is actually one of the political activities from his childhood, student life, and he is involved still with the political party. So finally, I would like to invite our Salahuddin sir to closing this session. Sir.
No, thank you very much, everybody, especially Ms. Emma, that you have taken all the initiative to visit our country, see all by yourself, and now you are coming back and trying to coordinate everything so that something visible we can see, and the impact can be also seen. So we all are very grateful from Green Tech Foundation, and I personally would like to express my thanks and gratitude to be introduced with you. Inshallah, we will have our relationship further developed, and we'll continue to work together in the days to come. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed to everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
আমি তো জানি ওনারা তো কেউ মেম্বার
কর্পোরেট মেম্বার, আরেকটা হচ্ছে গেস্ট, আরেকটা হচ্ছে স্পাউস। একটা ভোটও তো নাই ওইটা,
জানি তো
তোর ওইখানে দিয়ে তো
Thank you very much, ma'am.
husband দিয়ে একটা